guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another Makeup Monday, and today I wanted to do a review on the Provisions Holiday Beauty Book, and this is only $5. It's from Walgreens, which is pretty awesome, and I thought it would be kind of fun to branch out and do some different holiday makeup books that not all the other YouTubers are doing. Like, all the holiday books I'm seeing right now are like the high-end books from like Sephora and Ulta, and they're expensive and they're fancy. Not everybody has that kind of money. So this little guy right here is only $5. It's called The Beauty Book from Provision, and I picked him up at my local Walgreens. It does have this nice little band right here, just kind of helps keep him closed. But you can go ahead and open him up, and I decided to choose him because he literally has just about everything you're going to need to create a really gorgeous look, which I went ahead and did my makeup using him today. I've got a whole tutorial on my eyes and such. If you want to keep watching, that'll be here in this review and tutorial video. But you get like all these gorgeous eye colors. Like, look at these, so pretty. You get technically like 4 different blush colors, but I've been like swirling them together. But you get like a lighter one, darker one, lighter one, darker one, and then you also get a bronzer and a highlighter along with 3 different brow colors down here. So there's definitely going to be a brow powder that is going to work for you, which I have the brow powder in right now, and I wish I would have went maybe a little bit lighter because the second one here that I used, it was quite dark. And then you get 2 gel eyeliners, but I like to use them as like an eyeshadow base pretty much. But we can go ahead and do a few swatches here just to look at them. So we'll go ahead and swatch out these 2 blushes real quick. So we got the first one. I'm just mixing them together because that's how I like to wear them. So we've got the first one and the second one. So as you can tell, first one is right here, and this is the second one. The first one, which is here, is quite pink, and the second one is more of a coral color. But they're quite pigmented, and they're really pretty. I love wearing them. I have the second one, which is more corally. I have that one on today, and I've been enjoying it for quite some time. It blends out really nicely into the skin, and I just think it gives a nice little flush to the cheeks. So I've really been enjoying that. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys the bronzer and the highlighter. Now the highlighter is definitely very light. I don't even think you're going to be able to see it. It's got a little tiny bit of shimmer to it, really not much at all. I find it to be really nice for the fall. Now that it's getting onto fall, I don't want as much of like the glitter shimmery gleam to my face. I want it to be a little more, not necessarily dull, but kind of. Like, I don't want all the glitter and the sheen. More matte, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. So right on down here we have the bronzer, which is very dark. You're definitely going to have to work on blending that out. And then right next to it, right here, we have the highlighter. And I don't even know, you can barely see the light hitting it. Like I said, there's not a lot to that highlighter, but it is quite nice for fall if you want a nice matte look. After that, we'll go ahead and just swatch a handful of these colors because there's so many of them. I don't want to get into like swatching all of them. But we can go ahead and start off with, I love this beautiful orange. I haven't played with it yet, but it is gorgeous. And I'm loving the wear time on these shadows. They will last you probably a good 4 hours, and then afterwards they will start to fade, but they fade really nicely, so it's not like your face turns into a hot mess. Like, they fade nicely. So we have this really gorgeous orange right there, and that's that orange. It's so pretty. One downfall to these shadows is that they do tend to have a lot of fallout, so that's something you'll have to like keep an eye on, just kind of tapping out as you're going. But they build really nicely. They're very well pigmented. I've got very few complaints. I mean, my only issue so far with these has been the fallout, which, you know, just when you're doing the makeup. And then we have this gorgeous green color right here. So pretty. And then most of these colors do have quite a bit of shine to them. I think there's only a couple of matte ones in here. Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and swatch you guys kind of got this matte purple shade right here. That's not my first time using him, and he was a bit crumbly. I didn't care for that. I mean, he's very creamy, but he's just kind of smearing around a little bit. So far, I've used mostly all of the more glittery shades, and they've all held up like a regular eyeshadow. This guy was quite soft, but he's a bit crumbly, which would be this color right here. But he's still a really pretty purple color, but I think he would take more work. And then we can go ahead and do one more. What color do we want to use? Let's do a pretty brown color. So this is a more shimmery brown. So I went ahead and swatched this brown from right here, and it's the very last one on my hand. And again, very, very pigmented. These, again, they're great for, you can build up with them really well. I've created several different looks. You can definitely go smoky, or you can go more natural. You can have a little bit of fun. Do, you know, your purples, and you got that pretty orange, and you got like a whole bunch of different greens right here. So there's a lot of different options here to play with. So far, just a great holiday book. I've really been enjoying it. I definitely recommend it. Again, $5 from Walgreens. You can hardly beat that. And I guess we'll go ahead and get on in. Oh, I also forgot that it also comes with a little eyeliner pencil in black. I haven't used him any at all, actually. I would suggest just throwing him away, because though he's fairly pigmented, he's quite dark, he's definitely not like a gel or anything like that. It really feels like I'm trying to scrape, and he just broke, actually. He feels like I'm trying to scrape a colored pencil across my hand, and it doesn't feel good. So I wouldn't want to be using this on my eyes. It's going to do a lot of tugging and pulling. And then it also comes with a couple of little brushes. You get an angled brush, you get a regular eyeshadow brush, and then you just get a little tiny blush brush. But personal opinion, just throw those out. Don't worry about them. But everything else in this palette is fantastic, and I've just been absolutely loving it and very, very impressed. I also forgot to mention there's this like little get the look sheet up here. So it'll show you how the steps to get a really pretty smoky eye up here at the very top of the book. And I've got a glare, so it's not focusing very well, but you get the idea. So definitely go check this out. Local Walgreens, $5. You can't beat it. It's a really great holiday Christmas palette. Would make for a great stocking stuffer for somebody, especially somebody just getting into makeup. You know, maybe somebody young, or if you're just new to makeup in general, whatever your age is. I think you'd really enjoy this book, and you wouldn't have to put a major investment into it. So we'll go ahead and get on into the makeup tutorial, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I want to do something kind of fun today with the eyeshadow palette, and I've really been loving all of the purples that are in this palette. I've been doing several different looks with the purples and the grays, kind of doing like purple smoky eyes. So I think we're going to do that today. I've already primed my eyes with my Mary Kay cream eye color in the color Apricot Twist. I've just been loving this guy lately just for priming my eyes. And we're going to go ahead and do the bottom we're going to go ahead and do our bottom lids with this purple cream eyeshadow down here at the very bottom that came in the palette here. So just taking a little smudgy brush right here, and we're just going to smudge him on our bottom lids. And I have a mirror down here, so I'll be looking at that. And I really love using cream eyeshadows as a base, because they really give something for the eyeshadow to hold on to. And if you're going to be doing like a purple eye, I love using a matching corresponding color, just because it really helps give a darker pigment to your eyeshadow look. Okay, so, and that doesn't have to be perfect. It's all going to be getting covered up with eyeshadow anyways. After that, I like to go ahead and go in with a fluffy brush, and we're going to pop this white white color right here, and it's fairly translucent when it's on. But we're going to pop that underneath of the eyebrows here for a bit of an eyebrow highlight. Now keep in mind this powder is pretty, there's a lot of fallout to this palette, so you definitely want to tap off any extra so that you don't end up with a bunch of fallout under your eyes. But I found as long as I tap out, I'm pretty okay. After that, we're going to go in with another big fluffy blending brush, and we're going to use this really pretty tan or apricot color right here. It's right next to the white one, and we're going to place that all over the top portion of our eyelids, and that's going to be a bit of a blending or transition color to help bring us up towards that that brow highlight. Okay, we're going to keep these two brushes off to the side because we don't want to mix up the colors that are being used on them, because we will be going back in to use those later on to help blend everything out a little bit more. So we're going to want a couple of more brushes. I've got a big fluffy brush and then another like flat shader brush, though not as like short as the one we used as for the cream eyeshadow. But we're going to go ahead and go in with a lighter purple color first. Maybe even a pink color. We're just kind of winging it today because I've been doing different looks each time. But I'm kind of liking this really pretty pinkish, shimmery pink right here. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4th one down. We're going to pop this all over the eyelid and kind of bring it out in a wing just to help give us a decent shape to our eye makeup. And don't be afraid to pull that pink on down closer to the inner corner. It's a very pretty color, and it's not super pigmented, so it's not gonna close off the look of your eyes if you bring it in. Okay, now we can go ahead and get into the fun color. I'm loving this really dark purple right down here. Second row, second one from the bottom. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we're just going to pack this on our bottom lid, but don't bring it too far into the inner corner because we want to keep that light so it doesn't close off our eyes. So just to keep going and building with it a little bit more, I want to go ahead and mix together this light gray here at the very top along with this grayish purple color right here, just to kind of help smoke things out here in the inner corner. In fact, we might go ahead and add in a little bit more of this darker gray. Maybe we'll do these two right here, a darker gray and that purple. So just a little bit of back and forth just to help mix them, tap them off, and give ourselves a bit more of a smoky eye. Okay, now that we've got a bit of that more purple cat eye look going to our eyes, we're going to go back in with those original brushes. I told you guys not to mix the colors on, which I've already gotten them confused. But we're going to go ahead back in with that first peachy color up here, and we're just going to put it directly where we had it originally, just to kind of help blend things out a little bit more, just to help smooth out any edges, but we don't want to bring it into our corners here where they're more smoky looking. We don't want to like interfere with all of that, but just keeping it right above there. And then back in with that lighter color, just to help blend out that apricot and keep everything nice and blended together, not over the top. Then we're going to go in with our eyeliner, and it'll finish up our eye look. So I went ahead and finished off my eyes. I gave myself a bit of a cat eye, and I finished off my mascara. Now keep in mind, I'm quite the novice when it comes to my cat eyes. I haven't been doing them for very long, so they don't always turn out even or perfect. I already know this one's considerably skinnier than that one, but I still think they look pretty good considering I'm not going anywhere today. But I just love the way a cat eye just kind of really works with this really pretty purple eyeshadow. So there's my eyes closed. This gives you a good look at it, and I really like the way these eyeshadows play, and they last really long. I wouldn't necessarily say that they last like 8 hours. I'd say that they give you a good solid 4 to 6 hours of looking the way that you want them to look, and then they start to kind of fade out. But I've noticed that the way that they fade out is really nice in the fact that they all kind of fade out together. So even if your look isn't as intense as it was when you put it on, excuse me, it all blends out or fades out nicely. So it goes from being like a thicker look to like just less. But it doesn't give you like those major raccoon eyes. It's not like all falling out under your face. It just kind of fades off delicately. I'm not sure how else to put that. So I'm really pleased with that with this palette. But let's go ahead and play with some more of the makeup in here. I want to go ahead and do my eyebrows. So we've got like all these eyebrow goodies down here. There's 2 powders, 3 powders. They're all powders. So normally I use the gel and then a powder, but I guess today we're just going with the powder. So we'll go ahead and brush out my eyebrows with my spoolie. I always get it hooked in my hair. Does anybody else do that with their spoolie? It seems every time I use it, it gets hooked in my hair. And then I'll just go ahead and go in with my normal angled eyebrow brush, if I can find it. Where did you go? Where are you? There it is. Okay. And I'm kind of thinking, it's always best to go lighter than darker when it comes to brows. So I think I'm going to go with the second brown here instead of the darkest one. And we'll see how it works. I like that pretty well. I think it works pretty good. It's definitely very pigmented. I think I could have even went with the lightest color powder. So as for the lasting power on this eyebrow powder, I can't give you a for sure how long it lasts because this is my first time using it. But if it's anything like the eyeshadow, it'll do really good. I'm quite pleased with that. It definitely gives me some very dark brows, but that's okay. Spool them out, see if it doesn't lighten them up a little bit. They look good. I mean, it did a good job. They're just really dark. So I've already went ahead and bronzed my face with my favorite bronzing, I can't talk today. I went ahead and bronzed my face with my favorite bronzing powder because this does not have a bronzer in it, but it does have a contour and highlight. I have used these once before and I quite liked them, so we'll go ahead and use that with this look today. And I'm just using a little flat brush, came with my Physicians Formula bronzer. As you can tell, this bronzer is very pigmented, or contour, sorry, not bronzer, it's contour. It is very pigmented, and a little bit of it goes a long way. So it'll definitely take some blending. And then we'll just go in with a nice fluffy brush. This one's just a flat powder brush. And just kind of blend it out a little bit. And that blended out fairly well. And we can go ahead and highlight with that highlighting color. So I'm just going in with my favorite little brush I use for highlight, and then just using the little highlighter right here next to the bronzer. The only complaint I have when it comes to these kind of pots is that there's no actual divider between the two colors. So it's easy to blend them together, which I've quite enjoyed blending this color together as a blush. They look really nice blended together, but when it comes to my bronzer and my highlighter, I obviously don't want them getting mixed up, so it would have been nice to have had those separated, but that's like my only complaint with this palette. So this this highlighter is quite a light highlighter. There's not a whole lot of shimmer going on here. And there's a little bit of shimmer in there, but not much. It's really not going to pick up. So don't expect anything crazy. But if you just want a nice little touch, a little something, this will definitely give it to you. And I quite like it, especially now that we're going on to fall. I don't want my face to be super gleaming. I'm wanting more of the matte look. So I really quite like that highlighter for those reasons. So we'll go ahead and finish off with a little bit of the blush here. And like I said, I've been really enjoying this nice pink color, and I just kind of like to swirl them all together. There we have it. And that'll finish off our Professions Beauty Book makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll give you an up-close look here. So that's my makeup done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave any comments down below. Let me know if you've checked out any of the holiday palettes that are from the drugstore. Which ones are your favorite? Any of them that I should check out? And if you've gotten this one, let me know what you think about it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you've not already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.